This is so exciting. This is a void that's been missing in this country for a long time. So there's questions on everybody's mind where you think you know the answers, but you don't. Hey everybody, it's Danny from Jodan Buick GMC in Moosic, PA, and serving all of Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, and today we're doing Tailgate Talk. I'm here with Mike.
Hi.
A little bit of history of the Jodan legacy. Way back when, in the 1950s, we had a Studebaker and Willys Jeep dealership in Pittston that started, I guess, the bug for the automotive industry.
Yeah, back in the 50s.
Back in the 50s.
Wow. So were you running around a lot like your kids are now at the
No,
dealership? Oh.
no, I wasn't. I don't think so.
50s?
No.
All right.
No, so I wasn't. Even though I look like I'm 80 years old. I got a lot of miles on me, but I still got a lot of life because I change the oil every 3,000 miles.
Maintenance is important.
That's right, it's important. But anyway, sold Studebakers and Willys Jeeps back then, and I don't know if anybody knows this, but Studebaker used to make horse carriages.
Oh, wow.
Did you know that?
I did not.
Did you guys know that? Studebaker, that's how they got into the transportation, so they seen the need for, Ford came along and started building cars, so Studebaker eventually, with the horse carts, going by the wayside, they got into the automotive industry also. But hey, on a little side note, did you also know there was 40 some automotive manufacturers in the United States? Did you know that?
No, I did not.
200 plus manufacturers in the United States. Just a little trivia fact. But anyway, moving forward, we had the Studebaker and not GMC, didn't have GMC yet. We had Willys Jeep, and we were selling those and getting a lot of trades in. And it seems as though that the used market, they got to make a little bit more money than the new market. And my family was big into Cadillacs, and they started selling a lot of used Cadillacs, and they started selling more used Cadillacs than the Cadillac dealership down the street.
Yeah. Boy, what a eclectic group of customers you had. So guys, probably GIs coming back from the war, maybe wanting to buy a Jeep like they used overseas.
Yeah.
And then
absolutely.
The family man wanting maybe a Studebaker for the wife and kids, and then a guy who was really into cars, looking at Cadillacs.
Have you ever driven a Studebaker?
I have not. Never
So
driven
we
one.
have one in the collection. I think it's a 1962 GT Hawk, a two-door.
I remember those.
Very impressive car.
V8 in that
very
car, right?
impressive. Right, it has a
engine.
V8.
Yeah.
It's a Ford engine. I think it's a 302 that's in there.
They were cool
Or
looking,
289.
Yeah, neat looking car.
Very, very impressive car, ahead of its time. But moving forward, like I said, we started selling a lot more used cars than we did new cars. My father and grandfather left Studebaker, left the family dealership, and started Jodan Motors.
Okay.
Back in 1971, bought a piece of property, built from the ground up. I mean, he always used to tell me the story that he had the shovel and used to do the pitchfork, and him and my father.
And that's at the current location. It's still open to this day. Huh?
Still open this day.
Wow.
50 years in business. Standing the test of time. It's all about integrity that we've been in business. Our customer relationship, treating everybody as family.
Beautiful store. I remember even as a younger person, that store was always really well maintained, very clean. You always had the old classic cars parked in front that were for sale as well as new vehicles, newer vehicles for sale, but always a nice mix of different types of vehicles there.
Right. Nice mix of colors, models, makes and models. My father wasn't big on the foreign back then, so they were all mostly domestic.
Correct, yes.
Growing up, I could remember as a 7-year-old lining them up with my father on Saturdays. That was our Saturday thing.
Wow.
7, 8 years old, driving the cars, making sure that they were all laser straight, making sure they were all clean. That was our Saturday time with my father, myself, and my brother. That we did on every Saturday. I always look forward to it. I don't even remember getting paid for it because I liked it so much, but I did learn to drive a standard shift by myself, and the cars, I probably put miles and miles just going around the dealership building, driving as a 7, 8-year-old. But you remember back then those cars were not small.
Oh, no.
They were very, very
Yeah.
big.
A lot of them didn't have power steering. Some had shifts on the columns.
Right.
I don't know how you reach the clutch pedal.
And even back in the 70s, you remember they had those steering wheels that was 90 degrees out, they get sticky?
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was kind of a rubber plastic mix.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I remember as a young kid. That and the smell.
Mm-hmm.
That vinyl smell of
Yep. Right.
whatever, the heat when it was
Yeah.
hot outside that they emitted.
All the smells, the smell of the exhaust fumes, the smell of gasoline burning. You just don't have that anymore.
That's right.
Yeah. Turn on the heat and the exhaust fumes you'd smell inside the car.
That's it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
How about we always had the Buick estate wagons,
Oh, yeah, the woodies, the wood grain.
right? That we would sit in the third row, they crack the window down, and you would get some hint of exhaust back there.
Were you facing backwards in those sitting in that back seat?
You were facing backwards
Yeah.
with the hint of exhaust. I don't think that was on purpose, but any of the kids sitting back would slowly knock themselves out.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
But anyway, that was good times. So that was 50 years in business, and I guess along the way we always had the opportunity to purchase a new car store locally, but I guess the timing wasn't right. We were very happy with what we were doing, what we already established. And then lo and behold, one day I'm out and about, and this store came available.
Yeah. I mean, back in those days, they were all family-owned stores. It's
Correct.
not like today, like you see, most stores are owned by conglomerates or big business, if you will, the big box stores. Back then, it was all family-owned stores. Every store was usually named after a person's last name,
That's right.
You didn't see that family give that franchise up very easily, They hung on because it was handed down through generations. The grandfather started, then his son got the store, and then he got his own kids incorporated in the business. And unless some catastrophic event happened, most of those stores remained with the family for years, up until fairly recent times, particularly in this area. And this is honestly one of the few areas in the country where there still are some family-owned stores. You don't really find that elsewhere. You travel this country, and the days of seeing Anderson, whatever it might be, Chevrolet, Ford, or somebody's last name on a storefront, not just in the automobile business, but in anything, is pretty much waned. Big business and corporations have taken over everything.
So that's unfortunate, but lucky for everyone us out there, this is still a family-owned dealership. We treat everybody like family. You don't have to take my word for it. You can ask any one of our customers. You can go on Google. You can see countless testimonials from our customers that, believe me, I am involved in every aspect of the dealership, whether it be sales, service, washing cars. I have no problem introducing myself, thanking people. I see that is not exactly the case anymore, that it seems to be going that it's all about the numbers, get them in, get them out, sell the cars. But to me, just because I've been in the industry so long, vehicles mean something to me. It's all about the experience that people have, and I say that day in and day out. It's about integrity, very important in this industry, and taking people, taking care of them the way that you want to be treated.
Right. Yeah, being around you, I can tell that's the most enjoyable part of the business to you, is the interaction with the customers, whether it be sales, service, parts. You make a point of going around to introduce yourself, not as, hey, I'm the owner of the store, but I'm Danny, how you doing? How was your experience today? What are you here for? What are you getting? What are you buying? And then helping in any way you can. But I can tell that really is the most enjoyable part of your job, if you will.
100% true. So I will go around. I do not tell anybody that I'm an owner. I never say anything like that. I ask them how they're doing. I ask them how their day is. I just talk to them as if I'm meeting a friend for the first time. And that's the relationships we have and continue to have them moving forward.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I think people understand that and appreciate it because you don't find that everywhere anymore. Particularly, honestly, in car dealerships. It's it's not like it used to be. Like you said, it's almost like a conveyor belt way of selling cars these days. You know, they usher you through the process, and that's not what we do here. We want to make sure the customer's making the best decision for themselves personally, through every aspect of choosing the vehicle to handling their financing, getting the correct amount of money for their trade-ins, and ultimately being happy when they walk out the door. Because although we are fortunate enough to do this every day, most customers, it's every 3 to 5 years. You know, it's one day they're going to come out and buy a car every 3 to 5 years. So it's a big deal to them, and it should be the best experience they're going to have in that 3 to 5 year period.
Agreed. Should be the best and biggest experience that they can have. So there's a lot of times dealers take it for granted when people just walk in. They don't realize that, hey, maybe this customer is here for the first time. They've never been in here. You want them to feel welcome. I have scented candles over there. I have some plants. We have waters here that if my salesmen don't make it here as salespeople, they'll do terrific in the beverage or bar industry here because they offer everybody any kind of beverage they want. And with that being said, I think people need that connection that they can say, hey, you know what? If I need something, Dan is my car guy. Everybody has a computer guy, a plumber, electrician. We want to be your car person for
great point.
any type of vehicle, not only Buick and GMC, but we do have certified technicians there that work on all makes and models that we pride ourselves on. And we do a lot of work.
Right. Yeah, we do spend a lot of time and effort on building the relationships with the customers because that's what it's all about.
Right.
We want to keep them coming back, and we want to keep them happy. A happy customer, not only do they come back in themselves and buy another vehicle or buy parts from you, do your service work here, they send their friends in, their neighbors, their coworkers, and that's what keeps a business like this flowing and going.
And honestly, it doesn't matter whether they bought a car here or they didn't. Everybody's treated the same when they're in service. Doesn't matter.
True.
Because you just never know. Suppose they're not in the market today, but they may be in the market down the street. They will still remember that experience that they had, good or bad. And that's why when I'm walking around and I just take a walk over to customer service, I'll ask somebody, how's it going? What do you like about this place? What don't you like about this place? And then we can do adjustments along the way. And it's usually small things that people either do or don't like that we can make adjustments, or things that we take for granted, whatever it may be. I can't tell you, this is one of the cleanest dealerships around. I've been in restaurants that are not as clean as this. You go in their bathroom, I mean, even our toilet paper. We have the 4-ply toilet paper here. This isn't no Mickey Mouse dealership. I mean, we go above and beyond. Am I right? You're laughing. Everybody's laughing. But it's true. So we step it up. We go above and beyond because, again, it's all about the experience that we have. So we've been here almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in November.
Yeah, hard to believe. It's gone by quickly.
Very quickly. I'm very excited. I love coming here every day. I know we're not open Sundays, thank God.
Yeah, it's nice to have a family day, correct.
But other states, you can be open on Sunday, but Pennsylvania does not allow
I know
Sunday
if we
sales.
were, you'd be here 7 days a week
I
instead
probably
of 6,
would. So thank God for that. And at least we're not an advocate to push for Sunday sales.
Yeah, I have worked at dealerships in other states, and they are open 7 days a week. And it's tough. You know, it's hard to get together with the families and friends and the relationships you make with people you work with because everybody has different days off. But being closed on Sunday is nice because you can plan your week ahead of time to do some things with the family or, you know, the normal trappings of life, the yard work and work on your home and going to grandma's or mom's or your cousin's house for the barbecue. I love being off on Sundays. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. So I turn my brain off on Sunday. I don't do any work. So I spend time with my family and my kids.
Yep.
And that's my time.
Great.
But that's a good point. Even though that we spend a lot of time here, that we treat everybody like family, there's a lot of people here that we get to know, our employees, our team, that have little idiosyncrasies that I guess it's sort of like it's like a family.
It is. Definitely is. The Jodan family.
So
Yes.
we've learned to adjust with certain personalities. You'll have that anywhere within a company. And if somebody is having a bad day, the rest of us are having a bad day. And we all look out for each other to make sure that we all have the same goal. Because if my service advisor is having a bad day, it may come off that person to that customer is like, hey, maybe he has an attitude or something like that. So things like that, we're all human. We
Yes.
make mistakes. It's learning from our mistakes that set us apart from everybody else
Absolutely.
and avoiding them.
Yeah, we all have outside influences that dictate our attitudes, whether it's here at work, home, when you're out. But, for the most part, our goals are always the same, and that's honestly to give our customers the best experience they can expect at any given time, no matter what their business is here at the store.
That's great. So I'm going to end this episode with, even if somebody is interested in buying a vehicle, do yourself a favor, because there are a lot of choices out there. Stop by, take a look around, take a car for a test drive. Even if you don't buy the car, there's no obligation here. There's no pressure.
No.
Just for your information, I think that's the best ammunition for somebody that's in the market to buy a car, is see what's out there.
Absolutely.
I have driven thousands and thousands of cars. I'll be happy to give you the information that I know, or if we talk, maybe I could point you in a direction.
Right. Even though we only have 2 franchises here, fortunately, we have something for everyone. We have the sport SUVs, we have family SUVs, we have large SUVs, we have pickups. We have luxury cars, in the Buick lineup. Not to mention all the trade-ins we get because of the different types of vehicles we offer here. We get trade-ins of all types. It's hard to believe some of the stuff that's traded in here. Low mile, newer vehicles that for whatever reason somebody didn't like or fit their needs, but they trade in here and it's a perfect vehicle for somebody else. So check us out online, joedanbuickgmc.com. We always have our prices clearly marked, our discounts, rebates. Same thing with our used car pricing. It's always clearly marked.
Yep.
And the inventory is always changing. So again, really happy to have become part of the Joe Dan family myself. And I think you will be too if you decide to come in here and give us an opportunity in your business.
Well said. So we're on Facebook. Like us, follow us, and share us. Or you can go to our website, joedanbuickgmc.com. Check out our inventory. Or give us a call if you have any questions. I get questions all the time. So that's another great episode of Tailgate Talk.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for watching. It's Danny from Joe Dan Buick GMC. See you on the next episode.
And I'm Zach Galifianakis.